When you ask somebody about their past and they refuse to tell you, or they get real shady and uncomfortable, that's the time to ditch it, man. Because if they're not willing to tell you who they were and how many people they've been with, then they're not going to be truthful to you from here on until however long you intend on carrying on that relationship. Because what you don't want is to be caught in the shadows of comparison. Because those types of people are always going to compare you. Who is the best at this part of sex? And that, it's always coming up. That's why they don't tell you, how many partners that they've had. It's their business. But if they're not willing to tell you to be honest about themselves, then what does that speak? What does that say about them? What does that say about them as a human being? And it is your right to know, because check it out. When you go buy a car, don't you thoroughly vet that car? You look at the history of the car, how many past accidents, how many owners, how much damage, and whatever kind of collisions it's been in. When you get a babysitter, you have to thoroughly vet the babysitter to past history. Is this a person a criminal? Have they been, accused of beating children or whatever? And whenever you go for a job, don't they thoroughly vet you from your past experience? That's why they use past references, your former employers. But for some reason, when it comes to relationships, you're supposed to just leave this whole subject off limits like it's taboo. That's nonsense. If you ask somebody how many people you slept with and they don't want to tell you, then there's your cue right there to exit the door, because from that moment on, they're just going to be lying to you. Trust me. And you cannot base a relationship on lies. I don't care what you tell yourself, man. So if they start to tell you, oh, it was only 3 or 4, and it's a lie, that's it. It's a done deal as far as I'm concerned. Because like I said, you do not want to find yourself always in the shadows of comparison, because that's what people like that do. It's not anything that they're doing wrong. That's their lifestyle. Folks that have a very free and open lifestyle should be with other people with the same moral compass, because that way it works. Because if you don't have that type of lifestyle where your moral compass is pointed in the opposite direction, you have a very conservative lifestyle where you don't share yourself with anybody or just anybody, and you're asking a person who did, how many people have you slept with? It is your business, especially if you're going to get married and make that commitment serious and take it to the next level. If you're just going to hook up, then who cares, right? But if this is the person that you're like earmarking to be your special someone, and they refuse to let you in on that knowledge, that past history, then it's time to go, man. Because you cannot base a relationship on lies and deception. Trust me, you cannot. You deserve better.